Hello, my Vibe Tribe. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Sorry. I always seem like I'm not a mess before I turn on the video, and then somehow I'm a mess. So anyways, like my ears, the better to hear you with. What? What is that you said? Oh, welcome to Fun Friday. I don't know what else to call it. Go with the flow. Baby sibling said Fun Flow Friday. I don't know. But we did change things to think on Friday to Thursday. Because that gives you 4 days to think about it before we get to the next one, right? But Fun Fridays. I have a creativity deck that I've been dying to use. So, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Something fun to do for the weekend, something to think about for the weekend, right? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope everyone had a good week. I know it's kind of hard to make plans on the weekends, but whatever you do, whether it's staying home and away from people, wherever you are in the world, or if it's staying home because you have to, make the best of it. It's not always easy. Hi, cuz. It's not always easy to make the best of things. But, in this day and age, maybe we're meant to learn how to, slow down a bit. So, Fun Friday. Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting these out of the card. It said forgiveness. Okay, what do we got for Fun Friday? Something fun, I hope. Okay, no. Let me try to shuffle this again. This is not exactly the deck I thought it was going to be, so. I am so loving my elf ears. I can't help it. They're crazy. But, let's see. Alright, let's try this again. No. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find something that I think will really kind of go with Fun Friday, but none of these seem to be that kind of creativity card. I'm a little confused. But while we're at it, I am going to, this weekend or the next, I'm thinking of making a puddle, which is, apparently it's a Filipino tradition, and it's like a star with lights in it, and you can decorate it. Usually, they sell for a lot of money nowadays, but you can make your own, and just YouTube it, P as in Paul, A-R-O-L, and, yeah, I mean, there's like so many how-to videos on there, but I thought it would be neat, because, I grew up, my mom used to always question why I never said I was Filipino first, because I am a half-breed, but I finally realized why, because I was raised in the Hawaiian tradition, and I am Hawaiian too, from my dad's side, but I wasn't raised with Filipino culture and Filipino traditions, so I figured this year I'm going to start my own. And maybe that's the Fun Friday we're supposed to talk about. Just kind of wing it, right? So anyways, I guess the traditional shapes are stars. And I wish I had an example. I first saw it when a friend of mine sent me a video that Disney put. You can actually go to, if you have Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus in the holiday stuff, and it says From Our Family to Yours. And it kind of shows like how important the tradition is, and I just thought it was so interesting to go through with this. So I am going to actually put this deck away, because this deck is a lot different than I thought it was going to be. So but yeah, I thought, sorry, hi, watch my back, but I just thought it would be kind of cool to actually go through that tradition. I know there's a lot of talk about cultural appropriation and this and that, but actually being from the Hawaiian culture, nobody really talks about the fact that people like to I don't think they intentionally mock the hula, but the hula is very important. It's like if you're Native American, it's a dance, it's a story, it's a song telling a story, I mean, if you see Moana, it's kind of that idea, but I actually like when people embrace other people's cultures. I think it's good to know about other people. It's, I'm not saying that you have to run around and, be exactly like them. So maybe some people feel that way. Maybe they were that in a past life. I don't know. But we put so much judgment on things nowadays. So much, oh, well, I am not a fan. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to lose people on this or not. I'm not a fan of cancel culture. Okay? And I say that because sometimes people get canceled over the dumbest things. Seriously, over the dumbest things. And I think it also puts a lot of pressure on people to be someone they're not. You know, like, oh, well, if you're not this, then, hi, you're canceled. It's like, no. This is how people grow. This is how people learn. This is, this is not a fun topic. So I don't know what's happening here. But, just think about that for a while, okay? We all think we're so badassy in any decade that we live in, and then we move to the next decade and we learn more and more and more and more, and we're constantly learning until the day we die. So hear me out. Let's just kind of think twice about cancel culture and the term cultural appropriation and all these things. I'm not a fan of people mocking the hula. Hi, a lot of people actually don't wear grass skirts when they do the hula. It is a thing, yes, but a lot of times it's just like a dress, aloha attire. But there is the standard and the typical. But I actually had a friend in school once, many years ago, that asked if my grandparents lived in a grass shack on the beach. My grandparents were the managers of a 15 apartment building, not a grass shack. So let's just try to go that way, okay? Let's just try to rethink how judgy we are about people. Now, let's try to turn this back into Fun Friday. This is not easy. I thought Fun Friday would be more fun. I literally am kind of all over the place today. But, I guess as we go into the weekend, and especially if you're locked down this weekend, try to think of fun things to do. My nephew is 7 years old, and this boy, literally, my dad told me this because my cousin and my dad, turns out they went to the Grand Canyon at the same time. Not even on purpose. They just found out they were going at the same time. And he literally, at the table, when they met for lunch, created a game. Like a board game, and my dad was so impressed. And I'm impressed, and I wasn't even there. But think about it. I know we're stuck, and, we spend so much time complaining and, being upset about being locked in. And I know that sometimes being alone in your home or being with the same people over and over again, it can weigh on you. It can become a bit much because, these are people that you're used to having a little bit of time away from, or you're used to being around people and coming home to an empty home, or roommates or whatever. But now your whole life has been kind of upended, okay? But I think it's about going back to the roots of a human being and remembering what is at the base of our core. 100 years ago, we didn't have TVs. People had to be self-entertaining. We did not have phones. We did not have these things, daily vibes and stuff like that. So try to come up with something fun. Come up with a family game. When I was a kid, we used to play what we called the dark game. And we called it that because we were just kind of, everybody just kind of, all the kids just kind of migrated to my room. Okay, but it's hard to play hide and seek in a bedroom. So we called it the dark game. And we would turn off the lights, someone would get blindfolded, and then they had to come in and find the person, and then they had to guess who they were. And you could only guess once. And if you guessed wrong, you had to move, right? So, you had to move on to the next person. Unfortunately, every time I would get tagged, I'd giggle. And everybody knows my giggles. So, yeah, I was at a lot. But, just try to come up with something fun. It doesn't matter if you're Filipino or not, okay? Look up the parol, okay? Parol. Again, Google it, YouTube it. Do something fun, do something creative. If you're a crafty person, get your family together, do some scrapbooking. we don't always need to sit in front of the TV to do nothing. You know, if you have a backyard, go out and sit in it if you can. If you can't, build a snowman. You know, it's actually nice here, and I have a lot of green grassy area, and I've always wanted to kind of sit out there, but I never have. So maybe I'll do that today. Just sit outside and watch the world not go by, because there's not a whole lot going on in my complex. But just try to make it a fun Friday. You know, try to make it, even if it's a weekend long thing. You know, YouTube crafts, or sorry, yeah, I guess YouTube crafts. You know, type crafts into YouTube or type crafts into Google, and just go with it. Go with it. Just try to spend family time together. Reconnect. If you are alone, write, or call a friend, or Zoom somebody, or have a socially distanced gathering or something. I know it's weird, but they make foldable chairs. You can go have drinks with someone in your front lawn or something. So, or your neighbor across the way, and just sit on your porches or whatever you have. And I know it's not easy. Okay, especially when you live alone. But it really is a time to connect. If you trust somebody and you trust that they're healthy and they haven't been exposed or haven't been out gallivanting wherever, then maybe you can spend a few minutes with them. This is more geared towards the people who are in lockdown, like us in lockdown in California. But the more we get mad at it, the more it frustrates us. It's like yelling at a person that cuts you off, right? I'm famous for that. I've mentioned that a million times. They don't know what you're saying. They don't care what you're saying, and they're long gone by the time you calm down. And who's the only one that's upset? You are. Well, yelling at the virus ain't going to make it go away, okay? But I think it's time that we just start re-injecting this world with some love and kindness, because there's too much of that not going around right now. People are at each other's throats. People are angry. People are fighting with each other over whether it's real or whether it's not. And, I always try to tell people, stay in your own lane, okay? Because some people are just out there. They need someone to connect with, and they need someone to vent to and let out their frustrations. And, if you might be the lucky person that day. And if you're a combative person, what's going to happen? You're just going to start fighting. So if someone is venting to you, whether you agree with them or not, just let them get it out. Let them let off steam. Okay? People are doing a lot of that. But also just take the time to step back and try to reconnect. All right? So I was going to try to come up with some funny name about being an elf, and with my name, because my name actually, you can make a lot of different things out of it. But then I realized if I tried to do Shelley and elf, I would end up as Shelf. That's what these are. Shelves. Or shelves. So, that did work. So I guess I'm just not going to come up with a fancy dancy elf name for myself. But anyways, so yeah, just, that's all I really got. I'm going to, hi Debbie, I'm definitely going to try to work on these Fun Fridays. I thought I had a plan, and my plan didn't go to plan because the cards that I chose were not as I thought they were. So I think it was about being creative, about healing. So yeah, just go out there, try to reconnect, try to entertain yourself, try not to be angry with the world. This, as my dad always says, this too shall pass. Okay? But when we look back, do we want to look back on how angry we were or how much we grew through this time? It's not been easy. I know. I've been angry a lot too. And but I've grown a lot. I have grown significantly in this last year. And as we're heading towards a new year, I know things are still uncertain, but you got to kind of hope that next year is going to be a little bit better than this year. So, let's start practicing that now. Let's start practicing that that love, that peace, that kindness. That's the season, right? Before I forget, happy day 2 of Hanukkah to all my friends who observe. I forgot that yesterday. I didn't remember until evening. I thought it was later this year, but it's not. So it started yesterday. So happy 8 days of the Festival of Lights. to everybody. But yeah, just go out there, enjoy your weekend, have a fun weekend, be creative, be crafty, do something fun with your family, okay? And, instead of just wondering what to do. My cousin and her boys, one of them is just so creative. He's been making robots out of the most random things in the house. I mean, the other day he made a robot out of random Costco boxes that came home, and empty almond milk boxes were the arms. If that's not creative, I don't know what is. I mean, that kid is just letting his brain go. So, let's try to lighten our vibe. All right, and that's the whole point, right, is to lighten the vibe. Have a wonderful Friday. I hope everybody has a great, great weekend. And again, let's just go out there and, be creative. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will work on Fun Flow Fridays because I don't know what the hell that was today. But you know what? Thanks for hanging in there anyways. It kind of was fun. It was interesting to see if I could make it through. And I think I did okay. But who doesn't love the elf ears? I love the elf ears. So anyways, have a wonderful Friday, and I will talk to everybody on Monday. Have a great weekend.